Yeah. Okay. Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
Michelle. Hi, Fatima. Michelle.
Hello, Samantha. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Fatima. And hello, Sam.
Michelle, thank you so much for being with us today. Such an honor to
You're
have
so
you
welcome.
here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Someone from Down Under. I'm so proud. So proud to have someone from Down Under here with us. Who would have thought that this would have happened? You know.
I know. It's true.
It's really, really nice. And congratulations for all your work and everything you've done. And, you know, you've come so far, which is really, really
Thank you very much.
With me, first of all, with your papers, and then your transfers and your paints. Hopefully, we'll have your paint here very soon. Who knows?
Yes.
Yeah, I really hope so. So I hope next year we'll get it there. So all good things take time.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
No rush. No rush.
No rush. I'm here for the long game.
Exactly.
Not the short game.
Exactly.
So that's all right.
Take it slowly, but take it really good. Okay. So make us proud. Make us proud.
Thank you. I will.
And you have lots of fans in our group in Chalk Paint Portugal. Lots of people love your papers.
It's such a good group, and you've grown such a good group, I have to say. It's a very engaged group, and you know, you seem to you're a good networker, I think.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very good for that group. Yeah.
Thank you.
You do a very good job.
You know what? I was speaking to Fatima the other day, and it would be so good if we could get a couple of artists, international artists, and do something like we're doing now with our members, like a creative box thingy. You know, it would be so good to see how, you know, talented people are. Well, we already know that you are all talented, but no, I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I meant. I mean, what I mean is to have something that you have never worked with or you are not so familiar with is a big challenge. And this is what it's all about. Do you understand? And with pressure and with everything else that people have going on. And it's interesting. And one of the things that we've been hearing these people saying, these participants, is that they are also challenging themselves constantly.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
So,
because I mean, that's the only way to improve, isn't it? It's the only way to get better is to challenge yourself. Exactly. So it's very important. Yeah,
it is true. Okay, so I know that we've been sending you photos and videos of our participants' pieces. And so now we are going to have a look, and unfortunately we are going to have to decide on someone to leave. Okay. So our first piece. So let's go with Ida Santa Rita. In Portuguese, Ida, which is the vase.
Oh, the vase. Okay.
Fatima, do you want to go first in Portuguese?
Pois, I'm sorry, Michelle.
Go. It's absolutely fine.
Eu optei por falar em português porque de facto falo um bocadinho de inglês, mas não será o suficiente para me conseguir exprimir como deve ser, ao contrário da minha querida Samantha, que é fluentérrima em inglês. Eu não sou. Pronto, em relação...
Quem sabe no futuro se também não és fluente em inglês, não é? Que assim seja.
Pois, quem sabe, sim. Já estou melhor que eu gostava.
Nunca sabe.
Portanto, em relação à peça... Portanto, esta semana... o produto que tinham de utilizar era um selo, não é? Em relação a todos os outros produtos, portanto, as nossas concorrentes podiam escolher aquilo que bem entendessem, mas teriam que utilizar este selo obrigatoriamente.
Portanto, nem interromper o selo, que é um selo da Vintage, que é da nossa querida Kelly da Antiquada, não é? Portanto,
exatamente, parceira do Chalk Paint Portugal.
Sim.
Pronto. Portanto, em relação ao vaso, acho que a Ida foi bastante criativa, não é? Gosto muito do pormenor das flores, acho que ficou muito bem aqui no vaso. Gosto muito também aqui dos moldes, acho que ficou bem conseguido. Acho que a Ida desta vez melhorou um bocadinho, quer dizer, um bocadão. Ou seja, teve um cuidado diferente em relação à fotografia, não é? Teve a preocupação de colocar um fundo escuro para que a peça se sobressaísse um bocadinho mais, e acho que fez toda a diferença. Portanto, parabéns, Ida. Portanto, de facto, tomou em conta portanto, aquilo que foi dito na outra eliminatória, não é?
Mana.
E eu acho que a Ida está de parabéns, como todas elas, sem dúvida. Mas eu acho que foi conseguido o objetivo, e gosto muito ali do pormenor das flores. Acho que deu aqui uma vida muito engraçada, pelo menos na minha opinião.
Ela fez isto com biscuit. Okay, so Michelle, just basically what Fatima was saying was that Ida was very, very creative when she presented us with this vase, and she particularly liked the flowers. And I was just about to tell Fatima, she did this with biscuit paste. Is that how you call it in Australia?
Oh,
Do you know?
okay.
Does it make sense? Do you know what? Do you know
Yeah.
So she made this with the biscuit paste, and and last week she made, what did she? She had you know those mannequins, you know, where she had one
like
of
the
those,
torso.
yes. And one of the things that we commented was the staging. The photo wasn't the best photo, and I even mentioned you, by the way. I said, you know, that piece would have looked good with a black, you know, scenario, like, and you do that a lot.
White.
And Fatima said white. I mentioned black.
A clean staging behind the piece. Do you remember, Samantha?
Okay, let me just go back. Fatima is our photo expert, and you were just talking about that before.
She does take very good photos, I have to say.
Yeah, I do like asking her for, you know, her opinion when it comes to staging and photos, because she's very, you know, she loves that anyway. So what she was saying was, it was good that she listened to us, what we said, and you could tell that she was, you know, she improved when it comes to with staging. So would you like to comment first, or would you like me to comment first?
Well, I'll go first. So just on that note then, actually. So that was going to be one of the things that I mentioned, that I think I really liked the staging. So the staging meant that the thing that shines absolutely, because there's nothing else there, is the vase, which is really, really important. So when you're staging, I think as Fatima has probably said last week, that sometimes people stage to a point that it's very distracting from the piece. I think there's too much going on, and there's too much in the background, and you know, they've got things hanging out of drawers, and do you know what I mean? And I think it's I want to see the piece, and I really want the piece to be you know, showcase in that. And I tend to, as you mentioned with mine, I'm very minimalist, so I tend to more often than not just have the piece. I almost don't even stage at all, but I think the background, either black or just white, something very clean, works really well, I reckon, all the time. So that's first off. So if her staging wasn't great last week, and now she's managed to pull this off and she's listened, then that's fantastic, because that is the first thing that I noticed. So there you go. So that's really good. And the second thing, I think, for me, I think this is a very successful piece, because she's thought about the overall aesthetic of the piece. So rather than, I think this is another mistake that people make when they're thinking about elements of the piece, but not about those elements in conjunction with each other. Exactly. So it's really important that things work as an overall. There can be way too much going on in a piece, and those elements don't need to be there, because again, it's like with staging, all they do really is detract from what is and what is a very beautiful element, I think. So again, I'm with Fatima on this. I think the flowers and things down the front are really beautiful, but I really love the way that she has used the stamp on this, and the stamp and the poem. I assume that's a poem at the back.
Yes.
Is it? The words and things.
Yes.
I really love how she's used those, because it actually makes it look like it's an authentic vintage vase, and it's got its stamp of its maker or something like that. Like, that's what it looks like.
Exactly.
And I think that makes for a really successful piece. So I think she's done really, really well. I really love it.
I agree with everything you have said, and I just wanted to add that Ida has a lot of symbology into her, or symbolism into her piece. There is a lot of symbolism, and she explains that, for example, because she went into searching what this whole milliner thing was, because she didn't know what it meant, and she used, I don't know how you say it in English, but it's, this material, she's used it in her piece also.
Okay.
And that represents the type of, at the Melbourne Cup, Michelle, that thingy that they put in front of the hats, that material?
Yes. Yeah.
It's sort of like a fly screen thingy. What is it called?
Yeah, like a lattice kind of.
Yeah, whatever. And so she used that as representing the hats, okay?
Okay.
And then the flowers, the orange tree flowers, represents innocence, okay? And then, so this all has a meaning to her.
I really love that. I love that she's really thought about that stuff, because I think even on a vase, it doesn't have to be a huge piece. Even on a vase, those things are really important. It's important to think about all of the elements and those things on any piece that you're doing. So I reckon that's fantastic.
And she's done that. She has done that. She's taken a lot of time to thinking what she's going to do and what it represents and what it means. And she's done that. And congratulations. Parabéns, Ida. Fátima, did you want to add anything?
Eu só queria dizer que, mesmo quem não saiba de todas portanto, nós temos acesso a essa informação porque a Ida passa-nos isso para nós, não é?
Sim.
Mas mesmo quem não tem acesso a essa informação, de certa forma ela consegue transmitir pela peça em si.
Exato. Fatima was just saying that we know these things because she's told us, okay? But even when someone who doesn't have this information, when you look at her piece, you can understand that. You get that information from what she has done. And again, she's been, really, really intelligent with what she has done. So congratulations. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Fatima, who do we have? Veronica, with the blue nightstand.
Okay.
Ok, portanto, a Verónica acho que de facto foi muito arrojada nas cores que escolheu, não é? Porque optou por ir por umas cores mais vivas, portanto, foi bastante arrojada. Gosto das riscas e da mistura do azul com o dourado. Confesso que acho que acontece aqui muita coisa ao mesmo tempo nesta mesa de cabeceira. Portanto, acho que, para mim, tem demasiada informação. E acho que o selo foi colocado assim um bocadinho sem tendo em conta todo o conjunto da peça. Não sei se me consigo fazer explicar.
De forma aleatória, sem...
Exatamente. Portanto,
tem que estar contextualizado.
Exatamente, é isso mesmo. Portanto, acho que o selo deveria estar um bocadinho mais no contexto da peça, ou de outra forma, ou ter aproveitado nas gavetas, não sei. Acho que, de facto, a escolha da colocação do selo poderia ter sido um bocadinho mais trabalhada, ou mais bem pensada, digamos assim. Pronto, de resto, para mim, é o que eu digo. Portanto, acho que a Verónica foi bastante arrojada na cor e arriscou, e acho que valeu a pena. Da parte da frente da mesa de cabeceira, eu acho que de facto há ali muita informação. Pessoalmente também não gosto muito da mistura do azul escuro na borda das gavetas.
É roxo.
É roxo? Olha, a mim parece-me azul escuro. Estás a ver?
Não, mas pronto, eu tenho essa informação, é roxo.
Pronto. Bem, em alguns sítios, agora que eu estou aqui a olhar para os cantos da fotografia, mais para os cantos, nota-se. Tens razão. Pronto. Para mim, não ou por toda a informação depois não combina bem, há aqui qualquer coisa que, pronto, que não combina a 100%, digamos assim.
Fatima was just saying that she likes the color that she has chosen, that it's very bold, okay, because normally people will here in Portugal, they like the white, you know, the cream, the grey, and so to choose this blue was very bold. She also enjoyed the fact that she used these stripes, the gold stripes, but then she says that, you know, the designs that she has chosen for the front of the drawers are too busy, okay, in a way, and that they do not match the stamp. And the way she has put the stamp, it's like, you know, she just stamped it there. It's not, you know, there's no context, there's no story, there's, you know, doesn't mix with the rest. Okay?
Yeah.
Fatima, that's what you meant, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. In 2 or 3 words, you see?
You're an excellent translator.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. So, yes, Michelle, your turn.
My turn. Okay. So actually, I was going to say the same thing. So I'll start with the positive, and the positive is that she's been brave enough. Is this Veronica?
Yes.
Veronica. Yeah. Veronica's been brave enough to use bold color, which I really appreciate, obviously, because as you say, most people are very afraid of using color, and that's very unfortunate because, you know, color is a beautiful thing. And so look, I applaud her for that, certainly. So well done for being brave. Then I'm going to get to the rest of it, and I'm hoping that this is just constructive criticism. Okay, so yeah, so I think it's really, really important, I think, to choose when you're refinishing a piece, you have to understand that you can't impose your will on a piece. And what I mean by that is you can't turn something that is Art Deco, for example, into something that is Victorian piece. You have to appreciate what that piece is and worked with that piece. And I feel like that's not happened in this case. So I feel that though the colour is bold and that's great, etc., I think for me, the stripes don't work very well. I think the stripes are of a different kind of piece of furniture. And even the dry brushing in the different colour, the more sort of purple colour, I feel, again, doesn't work with this piece. This piece is a whole other thing. This is quite a modern sort of piece, and what she's tried to do here is to make it look old, but I don't think it's been very successful. So I think that everything, like I said, I think that the stencils to the front, sort of there's no real rhyme or reason for me of why they're there, and they don't go with the stripes, and they don't necessarily go with the hardware, like the handles that are on it. I feel like it's all a little bit mismatched, and they've just been put together because she's thought that stencil would look good there, and stripes would look good there, and those handles would look good, and they would on different pieces, not together, and they don't work together. And then the stamp, again, I'm with Fatima on this, that I just think there is it's just been plonked on there just to use it. There is no context to that stamp, and there needs to be a context, and it needs to make sense, I think. And yeah, like I'll leave it at that. It's not all bad. Like I said, I applaud her bravery for working outside of the box. That's really good. Just now understanding that you don't need to use all of the things on all of the pieces, because more often than not, simple works better. I think choose one thing and do it really well on that piece. You don't need to throw everything at a piece.
That is true. The other day, Fatima and I were talking about that. Sometimes, not that I'm referring to someone in this challenge, but people sometimes think that being creative is to show everything you know how to do and put it onto one piece.
So true. So true.
It's so busy, and it's it doesn't look nice. Sometimes less is more, and this is a cliche,
absolutely,
but it is. Sometimes less is more. So yeah, I agree with everything you have said. I just wanted to add that besides what has been said, the fact that she has used the black for the stamp doesn't even match the rest. Okay, so if she had used the gold, it would probably have been better. But like the black, people just assume that the stamps always have to be in black. And not always do you see stamps in black. Well, in furniture, obviously. Okay, so maybe he didn't. That's another thing that another aspect that I thought that should be mentioned here. However, there is a positive thing that you haven't mentioned, and for me, I appreciate, which is the thought that she has taken, or everything she has taken into the staging. Even last week, she had told us that at least, she told us that it was raining and she wanted to take the photo of her chair in that particular spot. And she had sat down in her car, waiting that it stopped raining so she could take her photo. And so even if it doesn't match, she has taken a lot of time into, staging, and she's made an effort into staging. And I think that is important also. And we have to, congratulate her on that. So, Veronica, your photo, I like it, even though it may not match for me, but you've, taken your time to think about it, and that's good. It's a good thing. Right?
Sim, por acaso não falei no staging, mas acho que pronto, é exatamente aquilo que estavas a dizer. Acho que a única coisa que retiraria aqui do staging é isto é uma máquina fotográfica, certo? Aqui em cima não teria colocado a máquina, porque a máquina torna-se um ruído visual, digamos assim.
Okay.
Acho que mais, na minha opinião, ficaria melhor sem, mas eu gosto do cenário. Acho que a natureza encaixa-se bem com tudo, pelo menos na minha opinião.
Okay,
mas acho que a máquina não deveria estar ali, na minha opinião.
Sim, okay. Fatima was just saying that she also agrees that she's, taken a lot of effort into the photo, and that normally nature is always a good, scenery for furniture. And the only thing is that she would have, taken away the photo camera away, which doesn't go with it at all. So yeah, but at least she, lighting, you can see the piece, and that's important. That's one of the things that we've been talking about. Sometimes you can't see what's going on, and that's important. Okay,
Samantha, temos que ter atenção ao tempo.
Okay, yes, let's move on. Next piece, Margarida Veja, another bedside table or nightstand because I'm just scared that Google won't translate what I'm saying and just, you know, put something else that doesn't make sense. So bedside table, nightstand, whatever you fancy. Fátima.
Ok, começo eu. Pronto, é assim, em relação à mesa de cabeceira da Margarida, gosto das cores que ela utilizou, porque eu gosto muito de cor, mas também gosto de tons neutros. Acho que tudo tem um sítio, digamos assim, tudo tem sítio para estar, não é? Gosto muito das gavetas, do pormenor das gavetas, da cor que ela utilizou, do pormenor que ela fez com as ranhuras que existem na gaveta. Portanto, acho que combina muito bem com o estilo. Como eu disse, gosto de cor e do tipo de pintura que ela fez, que acho que combina com a mesa de cabeceira. A única coisa, portanto, da preocupação em ter pesquisado o que é que o selo, ou o que é que está escrito no selo e o que é que significa, não é? E ter utilizado um papel de decoupage com o tema. Pronto. Acho muito interessante. Agora, a única coisa que eu tenho para dizer em relação ao papel de decoupage, eu acho que ele deveria ter sido melhor integrado na pintura. Porque nota-se ali muita colagem e eventualmente até ter sido separado, porque dá-se esteticamente, nós olhamos e parece que não foi bem distribuído o espaço com o papel, não sei se me faço entender. Pronto. Portanto, eu acho que deveria, o papel, a colagem do papel, o sítio onde o papel foi posto, a forma como o papel foi posto, devia ter sido trabalhado de outra forma. Em relação ao selo, pronto, acho que também poderia ter sido melhor a colocação do selo, lá está também em função do papel, da colocação do papel. Pronto. Eu gosto muito do pormenor da caixa do chapéu. Portanto, nós aqui não vemos o tampo, mas o tampo tem riscas, não é?
Sim.
E basicamente é isso que eu tenho para dizer. Gosto muito do pormenor das gavetas.
Okay. So, Michelle, basically what Fatima was saying, that she, you know, even though she likes color, she thinks that the colors that Margarida used here match the kind of bedside table. She likes the details in the drawers, you know, the fact that she used a different color, and the detailing. I don't even know if this is dry brushing, not too sure.
I think it's dry brushing.
Okay, so yeah, it is dry brushing. So what she has done with the drawers is nice. However, she likes the decoupage paper. However, the way that she has incorporated, we've only got 10 minutes, oh God. The way that she has incorporated the paper is not in her opinion, she hasn't done that in the best way. And again, the stamp. A good point is also the fact that she has done another a piece, you know, the box for the hat. Okay. So and the fact that she's done the stripes on the top is also interesting, even though we don't see it here in this photo.
E o facto de ter usado o papel, portanto, a combinar com o selo também, não é? Ter buscado o tema do papel para combinar com o selo.
Oh, and the fact that she has, you know, taken her time to look up what this means, and she's, you know, combined the stamp with that picture. Okay, they go together in a way.
Okay, so I agree with all of that. I agree with what Fatima's saying. I think that, again, I probably am more about subtlety. Like, I really like, for example, I'll go back to the vase because it's a good example. I like the vase because it's more an allusion to what is, rather than screaming in my face and telling me what it is. Do you know what I mean? So there are all these little elements that, you know, if you look at it and think about it, it's very interesting and tell you. So I find on this one, I think, you know, the fact that there are two ladies sitting there with hats, and then there's the stamp that says hats, is kind of, you're screaming in my face telling me it's hats. Do you know what I mean? I would kind of, yeah. So I would sort of.
And you've got the box.
Yeah, and the box, you know. So I think I would probably prefer that it were more a subtle allusion to what it was, rather than, I don't need to be hit over the head with it. You know what I mean? So again, for me, there's probably a little bit too much going on. having said that, again, I really like the colours that she's chosen. I feel like they're really nice and soft. And in terms of just the colours and the decoupage, they probably work quite well together. Like they're a nice, soft little combination. And I think that, you know, like you were saying before, that she's used the stamp in a different colour on the black, you know, millinery hat box there. I too like the front. I think that's nice. I don't know for me whether the handles work with the rest of it. I feel like they're a kind of different aesthetic to the rest of it. But I think she's done a good job. I don't think it's overall very conducive for me, but I think that she's done a pretty good job.
Great. Okay, so again, I agree with everything you've said. I'm not going to go over that. The only thing I want to add is that, again, from last week to this week, she's taken her time into staging. Okay, so good lighting. The fact that she hasn't taken, you know, a front photo of her bedside table is a good thing. It's positive. And yes, I also enjoy the colors. The colors are really, really nice too. Okay.
Can I just say about staging? So I know we don't have much time, but I'll just say about the staging.
If we don't have time, we're probably going to have to do this again because we've only got 5 minutes. So
all right.
So take your time.
She's so close to getting this right. I think that I think it's really important to have space around your piece. So I understand that some people's areas are a little bit confined, but if you can try and get a little bit more space around the piece, I think it's more flattering to the piece. And also getting front on, so I don't mean front of the piece, but at the same level as the piece so that everything is straight and symmetrical is really, really important because it's pleasing to the eye. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
No, because what you're saying, really I've heard it all. I've heard it all.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I've heard it all before.
It's really important.
Okay.
Symmetry for the eyes is really important because it's very pleasing to the eye.
Yes, I totally agree.
No. Okay, so ladies, who are we going to now? So we've had Margarida. Now we're going to, hold on, let me have a look.
I'll pull it up.
Oh, Ana Margarida Levy. Okay, so we have Ana Margarida Levy. I particularly think that this was very, very clever. So what Ana what she did was, so she explains in her videos that she looked up, she did her homework, and she saw that it was related to, you know, hats and a hat shop and so on. And so what she decided to do was like an advertising sign for a hat shop. Okay. So I thought it was very, very clever. It has so many techniques, but what we were saying before, that sometimes less is more. In this case, for me, it worked. Okay. So she has used, from what I've picked up, she has used decoupage papers. Okay. She has used stencils. She has used copper leaf. She has used a transfer. Okay, but as a whole, I think it worked. Okay, and I'm not too sure. I didn't pick up on it, but I think she drew herself the woman's face. Okay.
Okay.
So I think it was, and then she used the stamp at the top. Okay, her staging has improved so much for me, anyway. I know you guys are going to say something else. You're the artist, so, you know, I don't care. I like it, okay? So congratulations, Anna. I think it's a really nice piece. I really do think, and there's a lot of work into it. So much work. Okay, so your turn, ladies.
Okay, I'll go. I agree with you. I think this is one of those cases where even though there is a lot going on, she has resolved them all together quite well, and they do seem to work quite cohesively together. It's like she's really thought about the overall aesthetic, which is so important, and she's made them all work together. So this says to me exactly what it is without hitting me over the head with it in a million different ways. It's like one cohesive message, and that is, you know, that it's hats and, you know, an advertisement or whatever it is. But I think that the stamp works really well in that. It doesn't stand out. It's not being put there for any silly reason, or I think it all works really well together. I think probably what doesn't work for me is the staging. I think first off, I would say, so I totally see what she's going for. And I think if it was in a shop, for example, this is something that you would maybe display it this way. Do you know what I mean? You'd have all the different things displayed that way. For me, excuse me, I think probably there's nothing better in a photo than light, and in particular, if you can manage it, natural light works really, really beautifully. So I think taking a photo at night time is really tricky, really hard to do well. But it looks like, you know, she's got curtains there, which means there's probably a window there. And I think if she had taken even just popped it on a wall and just done a really simple photo of that with the, you know, seeing maybe part of the window open or the blinds and part of the light coming in, would have looked really beautiful for me anyway. But I see what she's doing, and I think, you know, she's done a good job.
Good.
Ok, portanto é a minha vez. Bem, agora sou eu que digo, concordo com tudo o que vocês disseram.
She's now saying that now it's her turn to say that she agrees with everything we have said. So good.
Next time is you, Michelle.
Ok, I'll be last next time.
É assim, pronto, concordo. Eu acho que a Margarida de facto conseguiu, portanto, utilizar várias técnicas, mas fazer com que elas funcionassem bem todas em conjunto. A Margarida utilizou de facto muitas coisas, nós conseguimos ver isso nos vídeos e nas várias fotografias que ela nos enviou, mas que resultaram muito bem no seu conjunto e, portanto, tal como estavas a dizer, Samantha, de facto isto é um exemplo de que às vezes várias técnicas também, muitas técnicas juntas também resultam. É preciso às vezes saber cozinhá-las bem em conjunto, pronto. Acho que a peça está muito bem conseguida, o selo acho que está, foi conseguido, lá está, a Margarida conseguiu incorporá-lo de uma forma muito interessante na peça, portanto acho que o conjunto está muito bem conseguido. Em relação ao staging, nota-se que a Margarida teve a preocupação e o cuidado portanto, ter seguido as nossas indicações cada vez mais. Já da cadeira foi muito bem conseguido o staging, e nota-se que ela está preocupada com isso. Agora, na minha opinião, eu acho que tem muita informação e que retira um bocadinho o brilho da peça, portanto, a importância da peça, e que, de facto, o papel principal é o da peça, não do staging, certo? A única coisa que eu acho é que talvez a Margarida tivesse aqui coisas a mais, por exemplo, a mala, talvez eu tivesse retirado a mala, pronto. Nós temos que utilizar staging, sim, umas vezes mais minimalista, outras vezes com mais peças de decoração, mas o importante é que não se disperse a informação, não é? Nós, sem querer, quando colocamos muita coisa, fazemos com que se disperse os nossos olhos e estamos a olhar para tudo menos para a peça.
Ofusca-se.
Exatamente, é isso mesmo. Pronto, é a única coisa. Portanto, embora se note, lá está, que a Margarida teve uma preocupação em trabalhar o staging, portanto, em elaborar um staging mais apropriado. O candeeiro está torto.
Olhos de lince. Olhos de lince.
Michelle, pergunta lá a Michelle se ela não acha que o candeeiro está torto.
Don't you think that the lamp is crooked? She said, you know, because Fatima, she's got these eyes. She always notices when something is like crooked, you know. And
yeah, no, I'm with you, because it makes sometimes you don't even know why, but it makes the eyes uncomfortable, I think, when you're looking at something. And so even even sometimes a millimeter or two out is
distracting.
It is. It takes away. It's like, if I always try and explain to people, if you think about it like a painting on your wall, and your eyes can discern whether it is a millimeter out. And if it's a millimeter wrong, your eyes feel uncomfortable looking at it, and you have to go and fix it. You know, it's like that. So your eyes are very good at reading measurement and reading what's symmetrical and what's straight, etc. And yeah, I think those things, they sound pedantic, but they're really important. Really important, I reckon.
If you did this, you tilt your head to the side. I mean, it solves it.
Don't do that.
Okay, then. Okay. So basically what Fatima was, she just, you know, she agrees with everything we have said. Again, she said that the staging is a bit too busy. She would have taken away the bag, the handbag. It's distracting. So yeah, basically what we said. Okay, Michelle? Okay, yeah. So let's move on to Vera. Okay, so as for let's go to Vera, Monica. So this piece, she used a piece of furniture, which is like a corner shelf, and she's used one of the parts. It's very girly. She has used the stamp there inside a mold. I think the cans or tins, the tuna tins are very, very clever with the little plants. However, it isn't, unfortunately, it is not a piece that I particularly fancy, okay? Even though I recognize that there is a lot of work, but it's not something I personally fancy, okay? The staging, I think it's, for this kind of piece, it's perfect. Because it's already got a lot of things going on. The lighting is great. And so, yeah, ladies.
Okay, I'll go next. Oh, you go. All right, you go, Fatima. Yes.
Then you can say, oh,
I will. Go.
Acho original a adaptação que a Vera fez em relação à peça de móvel que era para aquilo que se tornou. Portanto, as pessoas não vão ter acesso a essa fotografia, mas nós tivemos. Portanto, acho que é uma ideia original. Acho muito engraçado, portanto, ela ter utilizado as latas. Latas, como é que se diz? É latas, não é? Não tem o nome.
São as latas de sardinha, de atum. As latas de atum. Sim, sim.
Sim. Portanto, eu acho a ideia da lata com o catos lá dentro original, mas acho que depois o resto da peça, sim, desculpa, suculentas. Acho que, de facto, a Vera teve, nota-se que ela teve muito trabalho com a peça, mas acho que é como se tivéssemos várias peças numa peça só e que não encaixam umas nas outras. Portanto, acho que a ideia das latas está muito original, mas não integrou bem com o resto da peça. Portanto, a peça de madeira que ela utilizou para colocar o selo está engraçado, mas mais uma vez acho que não foi incorporado com a peça como foi colocado. Pronto. Portanto, nota-se que a Vera teve muito trabalho, mas acho que não há aqui uma conexão na peça com as diferentes coisas que ela fez. Pronto. A nível staging, também não há muito mais para fazer com este tipo, que isto sim, poderia ter feito mais qualquer coisa, talvez utilizado um sítio em que tivesse uma luz melhor, mas acho que em relação ao staging não há muito mais para acrescentar. Em relação à peça, lá está. Acho que falta coesão na peça, ligação e pronto. Basicamente é isso.
Acho, só para acrescentar,
I agree.
um aspecto positivo, sorry Michelle, I'll translate. Um aspecto positivo é que eu acho que vocês estão a gozar comigo.
Estamos a gozar porque a Michelle disse assim, I agree.
Ok.
Sorry, go. Translate.
Estás a ouvir, Fátima? Acho que a peça que a Fera escolheu combina com o resto, ou seja, com o tempo, a época. Nesse aspecto, acho que está ali, há uma ligação.
Sim. A nível de linha temporal, combina, sim.
Sim. Ok,
mas eu acho que
diz.
A nível de linha temporal, sim, mas depois as coisas parece que não se encaixam umas nas outras. Não sei.
Okay, so Michelle, Fatima was saying that she also likes, the teams, the tuna teams that she has used, the idea. You notice that she's, took a lot of time to getting this piece together. The idea that she has used this part of this piece of furniture is also clever. However, she thinks that as a whole, it doesn't, it doesn't
combine,
go together. It doesn't go together. Okay. As for the staging, she could have used better lighting, but again, she couldn't do much more here.
Yeah, I agree.
Estas coisinhas é tipo para fazer está-me a faltar a palavra. Ela tem aqui dois grandes puxadores, não é? Para fazer um
cabide.
Samantha, ajuda-me. Um cabide, ou não?
Pois sim. Fatima was just saying that this piece is a hanger, like a coat hanger, because she has the two knobs there at the end.
I think.
Okay, so it's a coat hanger.
Probably.
So I agree with all of that. I really like that she has thought outside the box here, and she's taken something and totally rethought what it can be and made it something else that is really good. And that's obviously part of what upcycling is, which is great. And recycling things, and it's fantastic. I really like I like that she's kind of seen that at the end and made it like a balcony in her scene. I think that's quite clever. And I like that she's telling a story. I think that's also clever. I like the tins, the same as you guys like the tins. So there are elements of this that I think are quite clever and well thought out, and they're very good. I think in terms of the challenge, it doesn't work for the challenge because the stamp doesn't work. So the stamp has kind of no place really being there. And even in this story, I think. And so for me, though I like all of those things and I applaud her thinking outside the box, which is fantastic and really important to do when you're doing this stuff, I think that for me is not, doesn't quite work. And, you know, would I have it in my house? I wouldn't have it in my house. But, you know, there'd be some people who like this kind of stuff. So that more crafty, that more crafty thing. So exactly. So yeah, some people really like this stuff and, you know, pop it on your wall, do what have you. For me, it doesn't quite work, but I do like all of those things. And then, you know, telling the story in particular, I think is very good.
Yes. And again, I mean, our criticism is like always in a constructive way. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and when it comes to our personal opinion, whether we like it or not, that's a different story. Okay, we're here
Exactly. It's neither here nor there.
according to the challenge. That's what we're talking about. Yes. Okay.
I do work some of my own work I would not have in my house. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I've got a particular style for my house, and most of the pieces I do, I would not have in my house.
Exactly. You know, Fatima, because I'm always, you know, joking around, but it is true in a way. I like pink, okay? And I like to paint pieces with pink, and I've painted quite a few of them. And then Fatima, when she came over to my place for the first time, she was expecting to see my house full of pink furniture. I didn't even have pink furniture.
Something.
Sorry?
Something.
Nothing. Not even in my girl's bedroom. Not even in my girl's bedroom.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, you know, you want to paint something, and it's not for me. It's, well, you know, because you like it. I don't know. It's things out of the box.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and there are people who like it. There are people who like it. So,
exactly.
Exactly. Okay. And that's
there's an audience for everything. I think when you're going to do that, though, so it doesn't matter what it is, what kind of thing it is, you have to make that very good. You have to make that successful. You know what I mean? So I think there are things about that, whether I like it or not, that could be improved upon, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to, so I have the last one, correct? The books.
Yes. Yeah.
Maura. Okay, so Maura. Michelle. Okay, now it's your turn. You speak first, okay?
Oh, okay. So this works very well for me. So she's done a really, really good job with these books. I think that every single element of these books, every single color that she's chosen, every mold, every stamp, everything in these works really, really well. Not just that, I think the execution is very good. So the way that she's painted, the way that she's stenciled, you can see she's not just gone in and gone stencil, stencil, stencil. She's gone light here, darker here. Do you know what I mean? So she's been very mindful of the fading process and the age process, etc. And it really works well. I think that, you know, she's done the washes in the mold and then the dry brushing over the top, etc. And that works really well. She's aged that stamp beautifully. I think this really, really, really good. The only thing for me maybe is that I know why she's done it, like the 3 pictures, for example, in one. I know why she's done that, so that we can see all of her books. But I just imagine one amazing photo with a sort of blurred background and these amazing looking books in the foreground with some beautiful natural light, and these would have looked amazing. I think that's my only constructive criticism. I think it's just the
do you think that this photo is a bit too busy?
Yeah, it's too busy, because I think those books are so beautiful and so beautifully done. I can see, like, the bottom one, for example, it looks like there is natural light coming through. If they'd all been together in that kind of haphazard way that she tried to do in that bottom photo, I think it would have looked really beautiful. But obviously, you know, she's just trying to show us the books. And in terms of the books and what she's done there, and I think the challenge, beautiful.
Yes. Fátima.
Eu também acho que concordo plenamente com a Michelle. Eu acho que, de facto, o projeto em si funcionou todo ele muito bem. Portanto, a Maura conseguiu conjugar todas as técnicas que utilizou, as cores, o papel de decoupage, o stencil. Portanto, conseguiu conjugar os elementos de uma forma fantástica, pelo menos na minha opinião. Utilizou várias coisas que conseguiram resultar muito bem umas com as outras. Acho que foi um dos projetos mais bem conseguidos deste desafio, muito sinceramente. E acho que de facto o selo ficou ali, ficou muito bem enquadrado na peça. Concordo com a Michelle em relação à fotografia. Embora o objetivo fosse de facto mostrar as várias facetas dos livros, eu teria optado também, por exemplo, por não ter posto a fotografia do meio. Uma diferente, eventualmente uma de frente e uma de lado, não é? Para se ver melhor, ou então só uma, mas acho que a nível visual retira um bocadinho da beleza dos livros, tanta fotografia, tanta informação. Oi, estou a ficar sem bateria? Já me estão a ouvir outra vez?
Sim.
Ok. E de resto, acho que o projeto está extremamente bem conseguido. Muitos parabéns, Maura. A única coisa que eu também não gosto muito aqui na fotografia é os suportes que ele utilizou, portanto, na fotografia do meio, que acho que não combinam com o
todo.
Feeling dos livros.
Com o quê?
Com o feeling.
Ok.
Com o... Pronto. Mas de resto, acho que a Maura está de parabéns.
Okay. So, Michelle, she agreed with everything you have said. In her opinion, Maura's project was the best project, okay, as a whole. The way that people... One of the best, okay? And the way that she incorporated the stamp for her was one of the best also. The colors, the techniques, everything. As to the photos, she agrees with you. She would have taken, she would have chosen only 2 photos. Okay, the ones, the top one, Fatima. Oh, we've only got another 2 minutes. Oh my God.
How many?
So, what was I saying? Okay, I was distracted now. And she doesn't like the book holders that she has used. She feels like they don't go with the whole feeling. Okay. So, as for me, I agree with everything you have said. I don't also like these 3 photos. No, I would have chosen only 1 also. And I get what you are saying, Michelle. I think that, you know, that lighting and no other things around the photo would have worked really, really beautifully here in this with these books. The fact that she has chosen 3 books is very, very clever. Okay, because she could have chosen just 1. Okay, and no, she has chosen 3 to tell a story. It's like, you know, the lots of books and like a sequel to them. And she was, in my opinion, the only person, even though the others went into looking up what this milliner thing was, and they did give you that idea of hats, okay? Maura was the only one who didn't use that idea, okay? There's nothing to hats here, and it works beautifully. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, and having said that, it's a book. So a book could be about anything. It could be about hats, you know.
It could have been about a woman who, you know, used hats or had a shop or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's not that obvious thing. Just like the one with the one with the bars, the same thing, you know. It doesn't scream hats. Even though it's good that they looked into it, but the fact that it's screaming hats is not a good idea, okay? Not for this challenge anyway. So yeah, Maura, congratulations. I like your books. I really do like them. So yeah. Fatima, are you going to say who's leaving?
No, I don't.
Okay, Michelle, I told Fatima that she was the one who was going to say who was leaving, unfortunately, and she said, okay, I'll do it, but next week I won't forget, it's your turn. So now it's my turn, and it's you know, because in everything there's good cop and bad cop, and so I always ask Fatima to be the bad cop. I like being the good cop. You know, I don't know. You just look like, you know.
Poor Fatima.
Okay, no, so that's fair. Yeah. So now I'll speak in Português. It makes sense that I speak in Português. Portanto, agora fora de brincadeiras, é complicado, é sempre muito complicado nós estarmos a escolher alguém para sair, mesmo depois de todos os motivos, e elas sabem muito bem no grupo, porque há uma união, sei lá, há ali uma família, uma pequena família, e por outro lado também porque começamos a ver que isto está a começar a acabar e traz alguma tristeza, não é, Fátima? E penso que para elas então que ainda é pior. Mas pronto, as regras são regras e é mesmo assim. E não quero isto dizer, e volto a dizer, a opinião, o gosto não é o que está a ser aqui tido em conta, mas sim o conjunto, a forma como as peças são apresentadas como um todo, e nada tem a ver com o nosso gosto pessoal, de eu gosto ou não gosto, não. Porque eu também tenho dito isso muitas vezes no grupo, às vezes há peças que nós apresentamos, ou eu pelo menos apresento, não são o meu estilo, mas respeito e sei que há pessoas que gostam, e temos que respeitar isso, mas sei reconhecer que aquilo tem o seu valor, não é? E que aquilo é de louvar. E portanto, não interpretem mal as nossas críticas, porque são sempre da melhor forma, com a melhor intenção, e valem o que valem, não é, Fátima?
Sim, claro, sim.
Pronto, e depois disto tudo dito, infelizmente não foi fácil, mas também reconheço que não foi uma semana muito fácil, e infelizmente quem vai sair é a Verónica. Infelizmente achamos que talvez tivesse sido a pessoa que menos conseguisse conjugar a peça num todo, não é, Fátima? Okay, so basically I was just saying that unfortunately Veronica is our chosen to you know, not to continue in the challenge, because as a whole her piece does not combine. It's not, you know, it doesn't combine. So unfortunately, that's it. Okay, so Michelle, thank you so much.
There's to be somebody. You're so welcome.
It was so nice meeting you, even though it's this way.
And it was so nice meeting you both. So much. I'm gonna be following you now for sure. And
well, I hope so.
Thank you.
And
it's very nice. And hopefully, you know,
sometime if you come to Europe, or who knows if I go down to Australia. So
I would absolutely love to. I'd love to, definitely.
Okay. So thank you, Michelle. Okay, so
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Michelle. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.